Good evening and welcome to episode 3 of Potions of Soho. I'm JP Levac.
And I'm Alex Robson.
And here we are again. It's a beautiful evening in Soho and we are stuck in the studio, but we like it here, All His Choice Studios. And we've paired together a couple of guests who happen to be old friends. So... and welcome to Marco Arrigo and Max Venning from Three Sheets. You got a very short commute over to us here. 2-minute walk. And you are one of the newest cocktail bars in Soho.
Newest, yeah.
You reckon?
We've been open for 2 months.
How's it all going over there?
Yeah, I mean, probably the reason we opened in Soho was because of the number of people that drink in Soho. So, you know, it's come to fruition. So we're good at the moment.
I had a personal interest in that space because I occupied it as a gallery for a while they were doing the work before they did the works on it. And so I was sort of really excited to know what was going to be happening there. And then the landlord, I caught up with the landlord and they said, oh, there's a new cocktail bar coming over from East London. And that's you. Tell us a little bit about the journey over then.
I mean, it's an interesting one. We've been in Dalston for 8 years, just coming up on 8 years. So it's like a good stint. For any hospitality business, it's like good to get over 5, and then any more than that, it's like, so that's a really like nice business. It's me and my brother that have it, so it's like worked really well for us. And then we were looking for the second space to do the same concept, and for us it was just like, so it had to be Soho because of, I mean, a million different reasons. Like, one big handover was Soho, right? You know, the centre of drinking culture in London, maybe the UK, maybe potentially. Busy all the time, even post-pandemic, it like really came back. So it was an obvious choice for us, and it was just about finding the right space. And that site is like, has a very similar vibe to the Dalston space, long and narrow, so you can create really good energy very, very quickly. And then, we walked in and we're just like, this is it. It's like exactly the same as Dalston, just like slightly bigger.
And not only... so we had it for a couple of years, the gallery, but there was a post-production facility for quite a while. And then because they were doing the big refurbishment next door, I think it was going to be too noisy for them. So they moved out and it became vacant. But I mean, also as well as exciting space inside, it's a really well located, you're right, the entrance to Soho, it's got that kind of...
One of the sort of dirtiest but kind of funnest streets in Soho. Now it's like very polished.
Manette Street.
Yeah. So it suits us very well for what we do now. But it's very different from how it was, you know, a year or two ago. Well, actually, before the development, you know, you had Crowbar there.
Yeah.
The entrance to JY Lake was on that side as well for a long time. So it's changed a lot, but it's like, you know, it works for us. And now it's like, it almost feels like a little European sort of square type of thing without loads of people drinking up.
Well, they've got quite a good vibe down there. That whole thing about it in the square.
Because that was always narrow. Yeah. Well, it's been pedestrianised, hasn't it? So it was a drive cut in from Charing Cross Road, and so that's part of that development. It's made it wider. But yeah, it's really interesting to see it all come to life because it has been a long development and big.
It's been a building site for 4 or 5 years, right? So
and. When I've been past quite a lot, and it's always busy. You can take bookings.
Walk-ins, but it's very, very busy. Like way more than we expect. Luckily we've got a really solid team, and they're like great. They've been very stretched, but they're always like positive and happy and like good value. But yeah.
Okay, now a few episodes ago, although we're only on episode 3, so it can't be that many. I had a last episode, or the one before.
I think it was the first.
I mentioned this glass, so I said to Max, please can you bring the glass? And so this is the one. So tell us a bit about this drink, because this is the best glass I've ever seen.
This is the glass. This is one we're going for. This is one you had, wasn't it?
Yeah, you have to. It's the signature drink. Or is it? I don't know. It's become...
But... So, who makes it?
And what do you drink out?
Where'd you get it made?
Look, I was shopping for a Christmas present.
Sure. Yeah.
This set of like wanky Japanese garden tools, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like looking at them and I turn around and there's like a row of glasses and one's like a duck or a fox or like something else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is it cool? So I like took a video of it all and sent them to like the team, and I was like, is this really nan or is it okay? And they were like, actually, it could be quite cool. And so we served a Sazerac in it, which is like an old-fashioned style drink, but it's always served without ice. So it's like, just looks like a bombly glass.
Oh, right. I thought it was actually
So, but you didn't have a Sazerac, just...
We did. We ordered one, but they call it.
Okay.
You know,
Sazerac's got absinthe in it, so we're like, oh, that's like anise flavors. It's got a duck in it, so let's do like Peking duck spices, stack flat. And so we ducks love having to stags out of it a little bit. So we're like, Chinese spice, Sazerac. The drink works, it makes sense. And then the bartender was like, well, we don't call it a Sazerac. I was like, we were worried about it. Everything we do is like very clean and crisp and like minimal. So we're like, is it too kitsch? Is it not? And we opened with it and everyone just went bananas for it. It's like...
It's cute, isn't it? Yeah, it's very cute, yeah. I mean, is this the only funky glass you've got down there, or have you...
My friend has a brandy that is the main ingredient of the drink called Seven Sails, which is similar to that as a fox. So we got him a fox glass. So his one comes with a fox in it.
Little fox in it. Okay. I mean, I'm just saying, guys, it looks expensive, this glass. It doesn't look like something that's come from China. It's not.
and if people steal them, it's a marketing tool.
If people steal
it's a marketing tool. That's why.
And we lost like 80 already, lost. Under 50. Yeah. So I had own coffee shop soon.
Marco has coffee on his vest. We should talk a little bit about coffee.
Yeah.
We have the coffee aprons downstairs because we sell your coffee here. Coffee in Soho. Coffee in Soho has a huge relationship. And
coffee cocktails, Soho, it's all a big mixture of things. I mean, I think it's interesting how coffee has played a part of Soho, and it's parallel very much to alcohol itself, because when in the 50s, when all the coffee shops opened, I mean, you look at Bar Italia, people think Bar Italia is like the first one. There was 3 or 4 before that, and coffee was like unlicensable, so people could open a joint, put it in an orange machine, a sandwich display, and they could dance to. You got to remember what was happening at the time. Children were like sons of their parents, and suddenly rock and roll came from America in the 50s, and suddenly this cultural revolution, and kids became lippy, and they would go out and drink Robusta coffee till 3 a.m. from places that didn't need it. And there was like the list of people that played in these places in Soho. So it was this huge thing going on, and it was really revolving around people drinking very high
yeah,
in probably very low quality places. But it was this thing that kicked off, and it was because we didn't need a license and because there was no alcohol, and this whole thing happened. And of course, it evolved into alcohol because Soho's so expensive. No one can afford to pay the rent unless you sell some alcohol or something. That's why there was lots of dodgy things going on in the past, because people had to pay the rent now. So it's always been eye-wateringly expensive.
and one of the most famous one, Two Eyes, which is now Poppy's fish and chip shop, and that was a big part of the sort of music scene, wasn't it? People were playing around
places where, the Two Eyes. It was the guy who owned it was a very famous Australian wrestler. And he fell out with the prostitute on the 3rd floor. And in those days, the prostitutes were like, I'm Spanish Betty. They just had like a pair of maracas and stood there and went, I'm Spanish Betty. You're right, love. And that was it. She was Spanish Betty, and there was French Tallulah, or, and they each stood in the doorway of Soho. But the most important thing is they all worked in the cafes and bars when they weren't working. So they were working in a restaurant or a coffee shop or whatever. And then in the evening, they're bringing a Canadian soldier in and robbing blind because she worked there. And it was this kind of, it worked, And so, so that's got this very kind of weird, misty, thing going on. But it all kind of worked in those days. There was never any trouble in Soho. My mother grew up in Soho. At the age of 4 and 5, she was walking around going shopping. things like this. Now we don't let kids out in case they get run over by someone taking their kids to school.
Am I right in thinking she lived above Bar Italia?
Literally, let me put this out in public. The Bar Italia moved the placard that said John Logie Bean invented the television, and they bought the next door, which was 41, which is now Little Italy.
Yeah.
And they moved it next door to Bar Italia. It wasn't there. It was next door. And then my mother tells me that she took John Logie Bean's workbench home
That's right.
to the house in Brent, and we left it there, apparently, when we moved. John Logie Bean's workbench.
Yeah.
You think eBay would like that?
Or Antiques Roadshow.
I mean, yeah, we left it. It was too big.
But getting back to the coffee and what you're doing today, you're actually roasting the beans, and just to explain to people listening, because
It's something a bit different. You see, we when I worked with Max originally at Bar Termini, it was from about still of 1950s Italy, and it's very old time. And so for me, you've got to look at the UK at the moment, that we have two coffees, whether you like it or not. You're either old school Italian or your speciality. And the two is like cat and dog. And the old school Italian isn't very high quality. They use Robusta beans from Vietnam, and gives loads of great crema. It looks fantastic on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Very bitter, very, very difficult to drink. And then you've got speciality. As you increase the quantity towards speciality, the coffee gets thinner and thinner and thinner, because and more acidic. I kind of don't like either.
Okay.
So I in the middle, and I like, so my coffees are very old school Italian, lovely and thick and forgiving. Like, it's not like a Ducati, you make a mistake and it chops your legs off. If you don't do it quite right, it still comes out okay. And that is why when you try and make a really beautifully balanced coffee, that's what you're looking to achieve. And doing a blend, I blended the coffee to do the vodka espresso first. And vodka espressos can pay your rent. Espressos don't pay your lights. You sell them a being sales espressos £4 now. It's crazy expensive. So for us, it was like, we do something very, very different. And I like to have a coffee. It looks like an old school Italian, but I score. When I first met you, when I first started selling you coffee, if you have it as this, I was 83 out of 100.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be above 82 to be qualified as speciality. I'm now 86 and a half. So we're always doing...
We call this the coupling score, is it?
It's the coupling score, so it gets sent for full protocol. 28 people have to taste it, divide the score by 28, and then you're allowed to put it on the panel. And I pay for that.
Yeah.
Nobody else does it. I think if a product could have a number, you're 71, you're 63, you're 58, I'm 81.
Know where you stand.
And then, good, this is the quality. I did it because I want the customer to be able to charge on his end and say, look, I'm sorry, my coffee's £1 more than next door, but I'm an 87 out of 100. I can show you some certification. So we got into this because...
But so where are you roasting your beans? Where's your...
So it started during lockdown. Got into this.
So did you start at home? Where did you start?
Days.
Right.
Policy really for 20 years before I left. And so we were looking at the quality of the coffee and noticing that there's under-roasted and there's under-roasted. And when you roast Brazil, Guatemala, Ethiopia, Peru, it's like putting beef, chicken, pork and fish in the oven and expecting them to all come out cooked. They won't. They're all different densities. Why does Max use a volume? Because a kilo is always a litre. But not in coffee. If I weigh a kilo, if I weigh Brazil, it's like it's light. It's very light. If I weigh Ethiopia, it's very dense. When you roast Brazil, it's like cooking fish, and when you roast Ethiopia, it's like cooking pork. So both in my blend. So what would a chef do? He would chop it up. So I sieved the beans into different sizes. This was how it started during lockdown. We were sieving beans into different sizes and then roasting them, and the balance was extraordinary. And you couldn't make a bad coffee. You could take it, tap it with your elbow, chuck it in the machine, come out with no crema, and it tasted all right, And so it was really trying to do something that we knew about density. We know about density. That's why baristas weigh everything, and that's why mixologists don't, And so we knew about this, and so I think we were going to kind of playing with it. And then we found out we could buy beans and grade it in different things, and so it became easier to. So I now roast in Hatfield House. We have a roastery up at Hatfield House because it's really sustained. Working with a guy who's really good. He looked at my blend and he said I could do better. And I got it. And he did. And he's like, all right, fair enough. But what he did was great, was he moved all my Brazilian to this woman's cooperative, which was really nice and improved the quality, but it was cheaper. And then we got that money and we spent it on the Guatemala, and he pulled up the whole thing of coffee. So working with people that, really know what they're doing is really nice. And so he ticked all the boxes, and he got our grade score higher, and he improved our coffee, and I've got nothing to say to it. I put my hand up. But, there's about 17 or 20 people that left Illy have started coffee companies.
Right, yeah.
They're working.
So you mentioned vodka espresso. Now, it comes up on every episode, the espresso martini, because it's invented in Soho.
Of course, you
Can't call it.
I think today it's known as an espresso martini.
Because I always said vodka espresso. This is probably that's the ingredient.
Yeah. But of course, you knew the guy who invented it.
You lived with Dick.
Dick, yeah. Bradfield.
Never actually slept one night under the same. I from mortgages and stuff. I had a bank account, and it's a sort of adult thing that he never had, and so I sort of was his look good. I looked good on paper. I was his mate, and was like getting him houses and stuff, doing so many things, but we never really. But he did stay for one in Holloway, and that's in Tammy Thane. It was always this sort of barman's bedroom kind of thing. I had money. I don't know why I thought the most famous barman in the world stay in my house. I don't know. I thought all barmen invented amazing cocktails that went around the world. Yes, no, you go down and go, what's this Dick? Oh, it's a brand. Well, that's nice. My mum would love that. French 75, we've not been to Sapphire. And I thought all barmen did that. and they all.
But yeah, because they're very popular hot circle.
We talked a little bit last week about the top 10, didn't we?
Do you think there's a thing, Max? Do you think there's a thing when you mix coffee and vodka, there's like an extra turbo craziness?
I was, if you drink 12, sure.
So I've always wanted to do decaffeinated proper espresso. Well, you drink 12, that's 12 double espresso you just stuck in you. So, yeah. Then I've got to get you off with a peanut. Yeah, and I've really put
And you cool down the espresso. Does that have a big effect on its strengths, or shouldn't affect any? What's your most popular selling cocktail? Three Sheets.
Many versions of the martini which we do slightly differently. And the martini's having like a real. I mean, it's always been popular amongst like a select group of people. But the classic martinis are really having like a resurgence. The hotel bar thing has been huge now for like 4 or 5 years in terms of like the best bars, martini prollies, and like, yeah, it just seems to be the drink of the moment. It's like
includes you. I think you're included in that, Alex.
Oh, I love mine. That's where I come in. Yeah, well, I love a good dirty martini myself. Yeah, so but I think that lends itself to the vodka, and premium vodka's having a bit of a moment as well. And yeah, I mean it was gin for quite a long time. On that renaissance, and obviously that's where I when I started. That was where I started getting involved in spirits when we launched King of Soho. That was just before the gin renaissance started. So literally, I got on the train just as it started in platform, which was quite lucky, wasn't it? Yeah. But then it was all about the gin martini. Yeah, and that, I mean, it's a different beast, isn't it? But yeah,
different drinks. It's a very like martini, very popular. People like how they like them. It was really interesting for us when we opened in Soho. And the first weekend we had like a table of 6 people, and they all ordered a martini, but all different variations, and we were just.
But then the vermouth's important as well in the martini. It's it's sort of a marriage of so many different things, and how you choose to do it as well. I mean, do you find that people are veering more towards the flavoured, or is it the extra dry, or is it just a mix of everything?
I think the dry martini is the drink of choice. The martini is very popular as well. I think London is like a brilliant place to have a cocktail bar, because in terms of the audience, you have the most open audience of anywhere in the world. It's like people will try whatever you want in London. Whereas if you're in the other major cocktail cities like New York or Paris, they're very stuck to what they want, and they're very they're more challenging because they're like, oh, I just want this or I just want that. Whereas in London, people are just like, yeah, whatever. They read the menu and they're like, I'll try that, and they'll give everything a go. There's a really great audience, and like, we didn't know how we'd be coming from Dalston to Soho. We've got a really trusting like guest base in Dalston because we've been at Soho.
Yeah.
But it's been the same. So everyone's just like, looks at the menu, go, I'll try that, I'll give it a go. And with Martin, it's the same.
And you just see the same people. Do you see the same people? If you're a Dalston, these guys must come.
Yeah, they do. We have a lot of people that are like, oh, I've always wanted to get to Three Sheets Soho in Dalston. And I'm like, yeah, it's 20 minutes from here. They're like, yeah, but now you're in Soho, it's easy, right? And I'm like, Soho is like, Soho, the West Ends, Mayfair, like the middle points of Covent Garden of London, right? So everyone could get there within 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So, yeah, I mean, it's just a much broader market. But similar people, we get our regulars.
How you look to change your menu? You've been open 2 months. There must be, choosing what goes on your menu must be a big process. And
always in Dalston, we've never changed like the whole menu. We've always like added a drink and taken away a drink depending on like seasonality or what we're interested in or whatever. For Soho, we're focusing on service for the first like probably 4 or 5 months just to make sure everything is running as smoothly as possible, and then we'll start like do one drink at a time, change one drink at a time.
What else do you have in the bar? You've got a little food offering, you do other drinks. You're a cocktail bar primarily, but what else goes on?
So we do oysters because we sell champagne. So I'm like, it's funny, we joke, we're like, oh, we opened the bar in Dalston 8 years ago because that's what we believed in a bar 8 years ago. Now we're like a little bit older. What do we want for our bars now? We're like, yeah, champagne belly glass, oysters, we do salt beef sandwiches and chips. So like very London food.
Which champagne?
I was going to say that, yeah. Which? Okay, what have you got?
Billy Clark.
Okay.
Brut and Rose. We've got Runa Blanc Blanc, Dom Perignon, and we've got Michel Gonnet at the moment. It's like a grow champagne. And then we're going to get Jack's on as well.
And that's all by the glass?
All by the glass.
Nine.
French wine list because we only drink French wine, so we were just like, let's just do French wine, all by the glass as well.
Oh, that's good to know. But I must admit, I was quite surprised the other day because I was out and they had some Blanc de Blanc. Yeah. And that's really gone up in price, I thought.
I would say, and I'm not just plugging a bar, and I actually probably know we have the best price champagne.
Do you? I used to... How much is your Dom Perignon by the glass? £36. Okay, I'm that's it.
We're going there.
A bottle of the box is 150 quid for that.
Yeah.
We have to go after the show because we have to. You have to go to work. Maybe anyway. Maybe you're not working till that. If you two haven't been, then we need to go because it's a very short walk away. But we had a guy in the day, and he only drinks champagne. We don't. We only sell prosecco. We've got a very limited bar range. Keep it nice and simple. And so I thought, well, I better get in because he's coming about investor thing, and so I went to Jerry's as one does, and just said, "Can I have a bottle of champagne? Like, cheapest one's fine." Someone said I should go to Tesco, and I said no, I'm going to go to Jerry's. I don't mind paying a few quid more. And I can't remember what brand I got, but we put it in the fridge, and he turned up, and he was supposed to arrive at 5. He didn't turn up for 7. Phil and I'd gone. And he said, "Oh yes, I saw the champagne, but I only drink one particular brand." So I went out of our way to get it, and then so I'm probably going to go back and swap it for next time.
So which brand did you drink?
I can't remember. You're going to ask that. But
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I do like my champagne.
We've got potions today. Any questions about any of these potions? This one's interesting.
Well, I think this is the one, wasn't it?
This is the one everybody...
Yeah, you said about that. You kind of put that one in.
This...
It looks pretty, doesn't it?
Yeah, so this one is... You do this, Alex. You've got to do this. You clap like this. And then... So you're breathing in the aroma, yeah? And then you've got to clap your hands. Breathe in. And then you've got to down this, and it gets rid of all the bad spirit. Yeah, it's come from a friend, yeah. But it's not for drinking. Do you want to go? It's a
sure. It's for detox.
Considering this is a video and radio, baby, audio and video, it's only for the audience.
But I'm cleansed now.
You're cleansed. Me and you are cleansed. These two are not. But
Don't drink it. I'm not taking you to hospital.
Halfway through the chat, it's my time to go and get a drink from the bar. I'm going to come back.
Okay.
So I'm going to leave you to chat.
Okay.
And I'll be back with the beverage.
Okay. Joel's coming back with the
I'm going to
beverage.
get the beverage.
So he's trusting. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's quite old-fashioned, isn't it?
We
all need a little cleanse every so.
Hello. Yes, I'm ready for the beverage. Thank you, Joe. I'm sorry not to feature you a bit more.
Saging.
Right, I thought you might have to make something, but he brought a pre-made one, so... And maybe I'll take a bottle opener, I don't know. And what kind of glasses?
I don't think it's...
Wine?
Cocktail.
I'll tell you what else we've got on here.
Yeah.
About coffee.
Martini glass. Okay,
We
great.
kept it for you.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Did you even know?
Four.
It tests tunes and weird.
Okay.
I'll find you. It's all right. What have we got? Glass. No, it's all right. I'll just go, because for speed I'm going to run. But heels, yeah, bring them in fact.
So old punished. So people, we stole them pre-made milk to make cheese, butter, ice cream. Do you know how much cream we need to make bloody cheese? On ice cream, butter, and all these things.
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
We've no, there's this. Just away this on the field.
They were giving it away at Oxford Circus. I thought you'd like it.
This is cleaning that half big for Christmas night, half on me, to keep them ill. I need it was a thing. And then the funny thing is, they have done years and years of research, and all these people found you can just.
Well, I did that.
On the milk, which is even low fat, by the way. It's only 3% fat. It's got saturated and calories. Yeah, it's got this is in it.
Why they give it to little kids?
This is you.
All right.
I mean, I'm just admit, I only drink full fat milk, but it's 4%. It's 4%.
Now let's talk about a good drink.
The best thing.
No.
Thankfully not.
We've got Clingy Soho in all its joy are our only. Now you pre-mixed this and brought it, so maybe shall I open it? What? And he said, and then I brought these. Apologies, they're plastic. We have plastic glass because there's a license reason. So I brought, but Joe said martini glass. Is that correct? And then he did say, "Do you want lemon twists or something?" All right. He might come in a minute with lemon twists.
So they're French 75.
It's old. It's like an old class of product. It was like GDM, lemon juice, sugar, and I when we opened it, we just make the clarify the carbonate the bottle it.
Quite a brave thing to bottle, I must admit, because of the bubbles. Yeah.
We saw it on a bit of menu of it, they labeled it, and it's like the drink that sort of mail them like an episode of which is like an NDC for the segment, and then that you get the that's black.
Lovely bottling. How many did you make?
We make them every day.
Okay.
We made them on that night on bottles.
And then bring them into Soho.
So he's like, gin. I was like, white wine, so see, because you pour that we don't know flour, not over.
And last week we taught Alex to use a straw to test. She didn't know the old tester trick.
I struggle with it.
The old bar trick.
Actually,
do you need a straw for it?
if I do the straw thing, I know you just wanted to.
Yeah, if you remember, yeah.
Which I obviously haven't. I've got a blank on this. I just like to put the straw in it.
Yeah, it's all cool.
That's kind of my preference. So this is my preference. No, I'm not sticking it out.
I was a bartender in the 90s, so I want to take us back. What were you going to tell us? What did we do in the 90s?
We build your straw caddy with all that.
Right.
What's a straw caddy?
Oh, straw caddy. Yeah, got you.
Okay.
Pour all the vodka, okay, whatever they may make. Throw around to do the straw. Put it in red ring. So the sick because I get us and I'm going to go to the soda.
What were you doing before you bartended? Did you go straight? But did you go straight into bar? And is it your brother, your older brother? Is it maybe you always work together?
Like 16 months or so.
Yeah.
And then I both were through uni and whatever, bars. Did his like, and then I moved to London. He was from Manchester. Both were working in the different bars.
Termini, yeah.
10 years ago? Yeah. And then I left it completely for appreciation in Dolls. He gave me a best.
Yeah.
And Manchester's got a great drink scene. Car culture.
It still does have great. I've got a great night. I like this scene, great music scene, and there was a lot of stuff happening there over the last few years. Got to get some really good bar and as well. But man, it's just a fun decision. I think. Yeah. For a time to warm up. Planning is a go for us. Yeah. There's some like that. And I just said, I had a decision, but looking for art. And they said to him, I've seen if I played out down in the Street. And I'm like, no, we're going to do an edge of it. And then we'll look at that. And I like the whole thing dead end. Completely different. Yeah. They do 3 or 4. This is who said that you were in the community.
The whole world. This is going to be global, this podcast, by the way.
That and joke. So that was great. Because they didn't want to say things to them. And I was quite surprised they were going to come straight to Soho bars. So we're doing it. They're not like a real hi. Your world is
We do suffer a little bit from that here in the podcast space. We do most of our shows are Soho related. Mm-hmm. So, but Marco, you've been around food and beverage industry for years, and work with lots of chefs and lots of places. What do you think the key to kind of staying alive as a bar, or a restaurant?
I think anything you do, anything from a hobby bar or whatever, I think you have to have a bloody vision. And I meet so many people, and particularly my brother had a day, he used to go to a meeting, and he used to say, so how are you going to make it busy? Nobody got it. Everyone went, wow, I'll fold all these 15,000, and then they go, yeah, so how are you going to make it big? Because it's about, you know the place. How are they going to be 5 years when they're still being busy? Well, in 10 years when it's still busy. And so I think you have to have a unique vision before you start in anything. You say, I want to know my because. And then everything I've done, there's been a because. I did it because I don't like that. I don't agree with that. I don't think that got any future. That never good. And I don't care what anyone else is doing. I think it's all now. Tomorrow is different, And so I'm looking ahead. I just see so many people in everything. It's just copying. It's sort of a bit like that. And it's a bit like it's hard like food like a big St. John's and then Christmas for a bit for 3 sheep. It's all this like no one's got. Just that not up. No. And so I just think it's nice to have these vision. That's sort of what I want to see. Somebody that says, look, this is what I'm doing. I think this is missing. When people go to coffee shops, I've always found it a bit worrying because they're like, yes, there's a big corner for coffee shops. There's a Romanian down the road. But when people go to bar, they go, this is missing. What I find I can go to do was to sit in the membership share and drink a champagne. Mac wants to sit side Idaho and he voices it. So where do you go? 5 hours to sit quite wide. I'm going to go to the Dentals or something.
That's amazing.
But I'm really up to that. I'm like, you disagree, you can be wrong, put it out, put your money where your mouth is. Just, I disagree with Cape Cup, I disagree with Choice Milk. And so I did it. We don't do takeaway. You can still get and call it what you like. Just don't do it. There's no need to drink like bloody if I friends out like Cape Cup. There's no need. It's just completely stupid. Sit there, drink it, can't go. So for me.
Do you have a keep cup? Keep. The keep cup's great. You take your own cup. You can have I've got one for that. Why? It's 6 ounce. I got mine. I designed it myself.
Did you?
Oh yeah. The rest of it. And I take it to my coffee shop, and I don't use paper cups. and it means I can take it away.
Yes, when you do it's up.
Yeah, well.
There's similar in it, and you feel bad.
Well, you shouldn't, should you?
I did in my no.
I've
I did that. I said every evidence.
But the point is, if somebody wants 6 ounce or 8 ounce, you put in their cup whatever they're ordering. You don't. I mean, I've got a 6 ounce one for a flat white. Yes, that's what I'm saying. No, I said what they ordered. Yeah, but that's the point. I've got one that's because I like flat white, so I got a 6 ounce one. Yeah.
It would be like, how long does they say to drink for hobby? And then in it, or not, sort of like sit down and have a hobby, take a moment, enjoy it, rather than grabbing it and go, well, obviously it's not we'll do it, but like no stuff, like the work. So, all right, so then like those are not off and then in it, enjoy it.
Yeah, but I mean, I always sit where I have my coffee. But I take my keep cup. So because most of the places I go to, they all have paper cups now. I don't want a paper cup. I want a proper cup. Because I think, having changes the flavour of the coffee, doesn't it? Yeah, but a lot of places, some places you go into, the only option is a paper cup. So I take my keep cup. And also, there's a couple of places I go to. They quite like me to take my keep cup in because they know me quite well, and it means they don't have to wash up after me. I'm an easy customer.
Feature on the desk next week. This keep cup. You spend time designing.
Yeah, I've got two sizes. I've got a 6 ounce and an 8 ounce. Yeah, to take it with me. Glass.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it's glass kit, right?
Issues, Pete.
Yeah, but I just think it's important that we drink out of the correct receptacle. I mean, look at this. It's quite pleasant. I mean, drinking out of something that's,
It's the only boring, and you need to work around with everything. If they've had Haddings when they come to London, the first thing they say is, what? With everything's.
Okay, I've got a question for.
Oh, but don't you love a picnic?
I've got a question for I don't call him a mixologist, a bartender. I don't want to say bartender. This new night that's got going, Bozo's, has a signature cocktail. Can you guess what it is from the drawing? Yeah,
I can agree.
That's what I'm being told. It's a variation of the Negroni.
Be a Negroski. I like a Negroski.
Remind me what one like.
Well, a Negroski is when you use vodka instead of gin.
Okay.
The classic Negroni's got it.
Yeah, I know they can. And then, Marco, tell us about the Americano, because this is interesting. The Americano.
Lulu, we call it American. That's just it. You put water in the bread sauce and Americano.
So there's a Negroni version of Americano. Yeah, there is. There's an Americano that's a Negroni.
The watered down Negroni.
Anything watered down, a better palate.
There's a watered down Negroni.
Yeah, it's got vermouth, and it's got Campari, and it's got
I'm a girl, and I don't think I'd like it.
sparkling. It's got sparkling water.
Is that a vaguely sexist remark?
Sparkling water. It's called an Americano. It could have been.
That's prosecco.
Like the good mistake, like tiramisu. I think that was a mistake.
Yeah, we like tiramisu.
No, it was. Tiramisu was a mistake.
And threw the most Italian
on top. The most, although your Italian accent is questionable.
See, but it's like it's delicious. I'm very. I get a good one, and the good goes to restaurants was always bloody sponge. And you go to your mum and had it all like a corner with a bit on a bottle and like a rifle. So,
well, it's meant to be coffee. But it's coffee. It's coffee liqueur, isn't it?
No, Marsala in Sicily. My Marsala coffee, thinking it.
Yeah.
No, nothing else.
It was definitely a mistake.
Well, so that was something.
What one was the fake story? I never. I can't remember what it was, but
yeah.
How did it go wrong? I don't want to make.
I'll have to look up for next week.
Like, you know, I want email it. Your people.
Well, do they want to top up over there? You're all right. So are you pre-bottling anything else? Because that's the thing. I know you do pre-bottle Negronis, don't you? That's a big seller thing.
Beautiful Maro, one of the boys there, Alessandro, is spending ages doing 18 different places like the Herbal Salters, done it amazing Amaro. And I gave some to the food critic at IML the other day. I sat in it for 3 weeks. He did it last night, and he just said, these guys are better than Harley's at taste. So it's nice that they do one thing every now and again. But it gets added for life. I mean, they've only been on 10 years. Yeah. Border around. They do a whole
For the Bloody Mary, yeah.
and they do stuff that stays on through.
Yeah. What about your Matt?
That whole thing we have also the pandemic. We don't want to just to sell out like very reasons, so something like ale and stuff like that. We bring back no notes of in our specificity and consistency and like. There's like that. With some people, but us like, hey, you can send out drinks, but consistency, the way that we're looking at drink now is like, it's not like boarding this or something, because I'm something else, like very intricate decisions. So to do that, I'm not in it, doesn't really work. And on also some men to design on really one in our. Have the right and is right and is right.
And what about the theatre of it? We talked a little bit about that before, that the theatre part.
Making the drink.
Although the drinks being made and then so they can do or something like that. There's no might be really bad, but that the other hand because I think theatre is maybe too from a word, but you need an energy like that in the room. There's a lot of bars don't know they're like, it's all pre-poured or they were not available. And then they handed some night after that long, and they hand like I miss some energy, which I think was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're coming close to the end of our episode, but should we talk a little bit about what trends might be coming up, like trends?
Yeah, what trends do you think are coming up? We've mentioned the classics, but when you make a martini, do you not like that from scratch?
What one's menu with that? Can do a martini menu like. Oh God, I wouldn't know that. That's like this is just 1.5.
It's okay.
The movie wine and that.
Okay.
So it was like, but it was one of like a martini about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just short.
Okay.
But the of trend, I think London's a good idea, but like not the drinks seem not very at the moment. Like yeah, you want a classic hotel, you got that. If you want more modern, you got that. TT bar. You have every occasion, which is great. And then there was a high line when it like trend led up. There was like everyone was doing their thing. Shit, no one wants to say anything. You had that every single restaurant in London was had it, or it would be boring.
Variety, yeah.
But I think there is a trend at the moment for sure. Whatever that is, no voice something. Yeah, I that's just having or not just to drink like that. So that definitely, and there's the variety of goods. I think it's a better place we could.
But you mean it's a mix of classic and you what should mix you out of it like a classic one?
Well, I think by venue. So it's like if you want one, usually you get 2 sheets. If you want one modern cocktail, you get 3 sheets. You want one classic martini, you get one up. If you want, classic cocktails and urban iron, they get like say whiskeys. Not have. The only comes to you certainly, not have everything. CC goes to like, hey, there's like everything for everyone, or not even everything for everyone, and have depending on what you're in, you choose what they want, and that's your London technique. This is great, and you get service as well. There's everything you need.
There is so much choice here, and we're coming into that sort of outside drinking. And you've got your shutters open there, so you're kind of spilling out onto the street, which is great. Where might we find you? If you are drinking in a pub, you have pubs that you like to go to. Which is your favourite of the 3 blue posts in Soho? That's a good question. There's 3 blue posts.
I know.
Not in LA, maybe a bit older, but good. I'll ask my friend out. I'll do it. I know those. Yeah, those to do that. Really. I'm trying to make that house a bit confused.
Famously, only halves, which is great. Only halves, one apart from one day a year. The French house only sells halves of beer apart from one day when they do pints day. Yeah, it's how those. They do pints day and they raise money for charity. And they've got their Bastille Day coming up soon in July. It's not quite next month. Yeah, we've got
I think we've got a
food feast. Yeah,
June. Yeah, that's next.
Another great fundraiser.
I mean, it's 2 days. I mean, they've taken it over 3 days now. It starts on the Friday, isn't it?
So
it's great.
A really good way to experience so many amazing and at such a good value as well. And
but I'm going to see you down there. Yeah.
You just know that. I was like, no. I made a coffee. I keep the tickets and any voices.
Yeah, and I.
That's what you just. I love that.
And I give them some gin and vodka for the bar every year, and I've done it since we started. So raising money for the school. Which is really important.
Nice. That behind scene, I don't see like because we're madness. Pop obviously about 10 o'clock. And there's all the people that sit out there like the months I don't see any of that. And like it's this amazing, crazy thing that's happening. And you're there setting up that coffee to see carrying offices in and blood man's just like playing.
It's a great event. Will you be entering the waiters race, Matt? Or are you going to delegate that on? You got someone on in your team who you should.
Yeah, so just so people understand, that is the Soho Village Fete.
As part of the village fete, although the waiters race,
which is in July.
The waiters race predates the village fete. Stop the night. Wait. And then I prepare a champagne.
Okay.
But now it's become this honorary house, and then
you still have to have an ashtray. You still have to carry an ashtray on your tray. Yeah,
I didn't know.
Because the ashtray.
It waits to the tray. Yeah.
But there was some talk of it, after the smoking ban, which came in July the 1st, 2007. There was talk of getting rid of the ashtray, and in fact, brilliant. Okay, well, we should wind up. Thank you very much for sharing your what and where to drink in Soho, and probably.
And don't forget your duck.
No, I was going to add. I could even call you that.
Can we keep it?
Keep it for potion.
We'll keep it.
We'll be back next week with episode 4. Do we know who the guests are? Should we look up, please? No, who's the guest?
I
revealed Sarah in the say at the bottom.
I know we're hoping they get that.
And Bozo's at 9 o'clock, people. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you to our live audience. They're going to give us a clap. Look at that. Loads of them.